This is an adult channel. If you are not at least 21 years of age, I must ask you to leave. This video was made for an appreciation for viewers and subscribers who ask questions about my greenhouse. Please enjoy. My backyard light depth greenhouse. This is the important parts of the greenhouse. Those motors up there and the controller. Let's look a little closer. There's the outside of the control box. Here's the inside of the control box. Every morning, this opens up my greenhouse at 8 a.m. and every evening, it closes my greenhouse at 8 p.m. That control box converts house electricity into DC current, AC current into DC current to control the DC motors. Walking around this side of the greenhouse. This is my chicken pasture. Excuses, I know, but I need to mow. I need to trim back here. You can see these air intakes, geothermal air intakes. It's pieces of 4-inch diameter drain tile, non-perforated drain tile, about 20 feet long. They're buried 2 to 3 feet deep and go into the greenhouse. That brings in cool CO2 rich air into the greenhouse right underneath the plants. On top of this greenhouse, the greenhouse has this 30% shade cloth on it. It's pearl white shade cloth. The greenhouse itself is made out of diffusion plastic and has these edges around it that help with the light deprivation. Going around and looking at the other side of the greenhouse. There's the exhaust fan. Now I put the exhaust fan on the north end of the greenhouse to reduce the amount of light leaks. It's hard for light to leak in the north end of the greenhouse. That's why the door is also at this end. Entering the greenhouse. See the other end of those air intakes. Get the door closed here. You all can see how the air moves the leaves coming in. On every plant, the air is constantly moving. Plants don't have arms to reach out and grab more CO2 when they run out. Whenever the plant uses up the CO2 that comes in contact with its leaves, it stops growing, goes into stasis. If you can keep your leaves, they just have to be fluttering, but constantly moving, you can keep a constant supply of CO2. Here you can see the air coming up, moving the leaves, feeding it with CO2. I can count every plant in it. That does a big part of keeping the greenhouse cool. Now, if I would have backfilled these trenches for the drain tile with pea gravel, they would have stayed cooler longer. On really hot days, I have to open the door on the greenhouse and give these a break to let them cool back down because the earth hasn't settled down back completely around the pipe. So it picks up the cool air and cools it down for several hours into the afternoon. But in the afternoon, if I don't open the greenhouse and give it a break for an hour, then it just starts bringing in warm air. But every leaf is constantly moving in the greenhouse. That's how I get it. The 30% shade cloth reduces the amount of sun coming in here, allowing the trichomes to get larger, more like an inside plant. And the greenhouse plastic makes the light, reduces any hot spots, and makes the light entering the greenhouse more even. I've used white landscape fabric for the floor in here, so it doesn't heat up as it would with I use black, and also it reflects some light back up on the plant as a form of underlighting. I had installed this misting system. It's actually an auto watering system that I put on the ceiling, but the minimum trigger time is 1 minute, which gets the flowers way too wet. So the next step was to outthink the system here. I also have this fan down here moving air. This fan down here moving air. But every leaf in this greenhouse is constantly moving just a little bit. Increases growth. So when it gets really hot out, I open my door up. I place both of the pedestal fans blowing in. And if it gets super hot, like it's getting ready to get in a few days, where it's going to get up above mid-90s, 100 degrees again, I bring my garden hose in. I stand in the middle of the greenhouse, and I mist the ceiling and the walls with my garden hose. This reduces the temperature for an extended amount of time over the spraying system, and it doesn't get the plants wet and inviting mold. Has to be done about once every 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes if it's really hot. But it only has to happen when it's really hot. Thanks for watching. I've had several questions about how my light deprivation greenhouse works, whether my plants are autos or not. I don't grow autos. To me, they taste like hemp. And this is, if you would like any more information on the greenhouse, please ask. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day.